What up? Welcome to the official DoD Podcast.
The Guardian Radio Network presents the official Dads of Destiny podcast. The only place where dads can be 100% correct, 100% of the time. Don't tell your mother.
What up? Welcome to episode 6 of the official Dads of Destiny podcast. I'm your host, Too Loud TX. Here with me today, my co-host and Guardian Slayer himself, Null Zero. What up?
Doing well. How are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing all right. I got the kid with me today, so you might hear him calling some disturbance in the background, but overall we're doing good.
That's good. What up, Cambridge?
He says, "What up?" And the man who stayed up all night to beat the raid on hard, and then had to go to work just to receive some ascendant shards. Pope Bear, what's up, buddy?
Oh man, you're opening up a wound that hasn't even healed yet. I'm doing great, though.
And last but not least, joining us today, a man that continued to farm for the Icebreaker, the sniper that he loved and dreamed about for weeks and weeks and weeks before the game even came out, only to find out that he could buy it for 17 strange coins this past weekend from Zur. Mr. Hambone, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, everybody? Just a little heartbroken that my idol is for sale for 17 strange coins. It's not even full price for 23.
Not even enough respect for 23 coins.
Disrespected me. The best gun, the best secondary sniper rifle in the game, and 17 strange coins. They sold Red Death for 23. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Yeah, and Icebreaker's definitely better, just in my opinion, but it's definitely a better way to spend your strange coins, that's for sure. Well, guys, once again, don't forget this month of October, and when we're all doing it, we're wearing our pink shader for breast cancer awareness, and we are also participating in the Extra Life campaign, which we will have a lot more to talk about next week, and a little bit more here in shortly, but just make sure that you guys are participating if you want to in that. You'll also be able to find out all those links and updates and the promotions for all those events going on over at dadsofdestiny.net. That has been actually revamped this week. So I don't know if you guys have all seen it. I saw it for the first time this morning, and it looks incredible.
Yeah, I can tell you that the team has been working on that really hard. We've got an amazing group of guys that are keeping that up and running, and it's just impressive what they're doing. They're really trying to make it a user-friendly experience on both the mobile devices and the updates. Baruko is just a genius when it comes to putting together these websites, and I think there's some really exciting stuff that's going to come out of that new website.
Well, that's awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, that website looks incredible. I mean, I was like, wow, man, I wasn't expecting it. I was jumping over there to actually take a look at the promotion for the breast cancer awareness that you had put up, Pope.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, this looks incredible. And so I was amazed myself. Guys, if you haven't checked it out, make sure you go and check it out, dadsofdestiny.net. And now let's gather our beverages of choice and get started with episode 6.
Bottles up, Guardians.
Please drink responsibly. Silly kids, drinking is for adults only. Don't drink and ride your Sparrow. Drinking has been known to increase your aim. Individual crucible results may vary. If you have a buzz lasting longer than 4 hours, contact the speaker immediately. No lawyers were harmed in the making of this disclaimer.
Pope, feel free to give us your manly beverage of choice today. I know it's early in the morning, so I'm not sure if you're tipping it up quite yet, but what you got for us?
Well, this morning, since we are it's 8:30 in the morning, and I'm just getting myself out of bed. Usually, I don't open up my first beverage until at least noon. So I'm
I thought you were going to say 8:45, but yeah, that works.
Well, I'm enjoying a nice cup of black coffee, and I picked up these beans. They're the Kona. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the actual bean that's grown on Kona,
Yes.
Hawaiian Islands.
Mm.
It's it's a little on the expensive side, but that stuff's delicious. If you haven't tried it, pick up some Kona coffee.
Oh yeah.
Puts a little bit of hair on your chest with every sip you get.
Well, it's not about its strength. It's actually a mild cup of coffee, but the beans are hand selected, like they're hand sorted, and so you've got a really like consistent brew. I think it's mild and has a little nutty flavor to it.
They have Hawaiian people out there selecting each bean.
Oh,
well,
yes.
So let me tell you something about coffee, right? Most of these places that you go to, like Starbucks and all these other places, they just pick the beans, right, and then they roast them. The problem is that coffee has, there's different sizes to the beans, and if you roast them all at the same temperature for the same amount of time, the small beans burn and the large beans don't get cooked properly.
Right.
Only the medium beans. So if you actually sort the bean sizes to Peabody, medium, and full, you can get the right brew from being roasted for the right amount of time. So sorting the beans is actually what makes it the most expensive thing, not the actual bean. So if you get hand sorted beans, you're going to get a quality cup of coffee.
Well, there you go, boys and girls. You learned something here on the Dads of Destiny podcast. Education 101 with Pope Bear and coffee.
I can guarantee you there is a ton of dads out there right now that are shaking their head saying, preach on, brother, because they drink their cups of coffee every morning, and they know the crap that they sell at Starbucks is just that, crap.
And then on the opposite end, there's plenty of dads out there that go, I don't give a crap about this. Can we move on to the next thing? So let's ask Null Zero. What are you drinking today, buddy?
Actually, I'm in the attempt of getting healthier and losing weight. So right now I'm just drinking some water, and I'm actually going to be starting to drink some protein shakes, I'm sure, on the air. So,
Hambone, I don't know about you, but that doesn't sound very appetizing to me.
No,
I'm not.
man.
I won't be joining in on that session anytime soon.
I'm not joining in on that.
What about you?
anytime
What you
soon.
got over there? What you got over there in California?
I have the least healthy option of everybody today. I got the McDonald's frappe with an extra shot of espresso in it.
There you go.
I'm kicking it off right this morning. But I will say I've had a cup of Kona coffee on Kona. So, yeah, Pope is definitely right. That is the place to go. Get one of those and a donkey ball. You are good for the day.
I think they're called donkey balls, right?
Just one donkey ball. I can't eat more than one.
It's like the Lance Armstrong of donkeys.
Right. I don't know what you're talking about. I like if I have one donkey ball, I need to have more than just one. I have to have at least two donkey balls.
Oh my goodness!
All right,
anybody out there that doesn't know what a donkey ball is, it is a solid chocolate ball, or there could be like nuts or something inside of it.
A donkey ball is a macadamia nut. Come on, man.
That's right. Oh, that's right. I brought them
covered in chocolate.
to this guy.
No,
So
you
Troy,
gotta be kidding me.
Troy,
are you kidding?
No protein shakes. You want donkey balls?
That's right.
You got protein shake and donkey balls coming on the air. I don't know what to do with this show, man. I don't know where we're headed, but
all I know is that that anything dipped in chocolate, I'll eat it.
Oh, man, this could get outrageous really quick. But I will. Hey, Brian, real quick, Hambone over there. What did you grab a sandwich or anything? A little McMuffin with that?
No, man. Just the coffee. It's too early. I plan on going back to sleep.
You
know,
get a McMuffin, dude? Oh, come on.
Like my nighttime gaming, so I'm planning on taking it back to sleep. This is earlier than I get up on any day. So
you don't get up until noon, Brian. Don't lie to people.
Noon?
That's right.
That's an early morning for me.
Oh, Jesus.
No question. Well, I'm enjoying what Pope liked to make fun of me at the beginning of the show of, but some good old peach tea, Snapple apple peach tea. So that's what I'm enjoying today. Go ahead, Pope. Make your laugh and your jokes.
No, it's cool. I just think you're giving a black eye to every man in Texas.
No, we drink tea, man. We drink all types of tea here: sweet tea, unsweet tea, peach tea, mango tea.
Is that a Southern thing? The sweet tea thing?
You guys don't have sweet tea in California?
Oh, we have it, but nobody drinks it.
Oh,
You ever drink Arnold Palmer?
Yeah, but
thank you. You're welcome.
is that from you guys? We have to thank
well,
Texas?
technically, that's from Arnold Palmer. But,
You're right.
But yes, I mean, sweet tea is a huge thing here in the South.
But
actually, in Texas.
tea and lemonade, that's a big deal here in Texas.
Yeah, it's really big. I mean, almost every restaurant when I go to, I drink sweet tea because I have so many Cokes and everything else during the day, or doing whatever else I'm doing. I'll grab a Mountain Dew or Dr. Pepper or something. But when it comes to going to a restaurant, everybody orders tea most of the time. I mean, it's a huge thing here. So it's odd to me that you guys don't drink sweet tea a lot, man. We drink it like crazy out here. Do you have Chick-fil-A over there?
Yeah, it was just within the last year we've gotten Chick-fil-A's.
Yeah, man. Chick-fil-A sweet tea is the bomb.
Hey, Pope, do y'all not have tea everywhere, like every restaurant you go to?
I guess you if you go out to eat, you're probably picking up. If you ordered an iced tea, right?
Uh-huh.
You would find that in every restaurant, right?
But they don't ask you sweet or unsweet?
No, the iced tea is
Really?
just unsweetened. Yeah,
Every single place you go in Texas, I think just about any place you go, they'll have sweet and unsweet.
Yeah, they'll
period.
ask
They
you.
don't do that
Yeah,
here.
if you say I want an iced tea, they'll say sweet or unsweet. And
Yeah. That's just
the way it is.
They don't do that. Am I right, Brian? They don't do that here.
Generally, here in California, it's all unsweetened, or you don't really get that choice. So I like your variety. I'm coming to Texas.
Yeah, man. I mean, we got all kinds of tea here, man, and I love it. I absolutely love it. So, well, let's jump right into to this week's updates, news, and patches. We begin the week with a hot fix that they gave to us. It was targeted to help resolve some of the connection issues and the network problems that came out. I know that we were all talking about it right before it came on because I jumped on before I went to work, and of course, Null Zero and Hambone were still on, and they were like, "All right, we got an hour till this hot fix comes in." So I know you guys were doing that. I obviously I wasn't having a lot of problems, so it didn't really affect my personal gameplay. I'm sure there's some people out there that did. I know that believe it or not, the Xbox was having more issues. Believe it or not, can you believe that?
No.
That's a surprising thing
that they were resolving there, but I know that was taken care of, and hopefully, if you were having problems, that patch helped you guys out. Then the next thing that they gave us was the big thing of the week. This was the Iron Banner, which is what I want to talk about most. If you don't know what the Iron Banner is, really quick, and you've been dormant in the cave for the past 7 days. You basically it is their version of, bar none. This is, you take your gear the way it is into this multiplayer playlist and battle it out and see if you're stronger than your friend. However, come to find out, there's obviously a couple personal issues I have with it, let alone what we ended up finding out on Friday on the update from Deej. One of which we found out that it's not really the case, that it's not 100%. Hey, you take your gear in, and what you have is how you deal damage, right? Mm-hmm. But that's something they decided to do, and we'll definitely talk a little bit more about that. But I want to get into what the things that we all talked about throughout the week in regards to our problems with the Iron Banner, beginning with there's no voice chat. Okay, so we go in there without a team of 6, just me and maybe 2 other guys, me and Hambone or me and Pope. We can't talk to our teammates.
No, no matter if they have mics or not.
And this isn't just a problem in Iron Banner, but it seemed to be more
pronounced.
Yeah, I mean,
in a competitive playlist, it's more apparent that you need voice communication, right? If you're playing social games, you don't think of communication as being that important. But when you're jumping into the Iron Banner, which is supposed to be a competitive playlist, the very first thing on your mind is call-outs, right? Communication, teamwork. All those things revolve around being able to hear your teammates and being able to recognize where they are and, work as one. And
especially since it seemed like there's more teams of 6 you were battling in Iron Banner.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's just the same as any competitive playlist. I think the point is that we wanted to test what it would be like going in as 2s and 3s. As a group, we would always go in as 6s. But there's other guys out there in Dads of Destiny that are just going to jump on for a little bit, so they're going to go in as 1s and 2s. So we wanted to look at what it looked like if you just went in as a pair of guys. The reality is it's not the same experience. You can't meet people and talk to just random people about it just was
but
very difficult.
Who at Bungie decided, hey, let's do a multiplayer game like we've done in the past, right?
Right.
All the Halo games, all right? Let's do a multiplayer game, and let's not let you talk to your teammates. I mean, dude, seriously, where did that thinking come from? I mean, that's the one question I want to ask them. Why in the world would you not let me talk to my teammates? I don't care if it's toxic. I don't care. I can mute them, just like every other game that's been out for the past 10 years.
In Call of Duty, the very first thing in the lobby, you see the people who have mics, and some people don't, and then there's that one annoying person, and
Bear.
that's just they're like doing one of these in the mic. Or they're doing something.
Sounds exactly like you.
Stop it. And then you just click on their name and mute them. Yeah, and that's simple.
No, I agree, and I don't understand why that feature's been around forever. You've been able to mute people in Halo forever. I don't understand where the idea of, you know what, we really just don't want these people to talk to each other, so we're not going to let them. And
but it's
if
a
you want
social
to meet
game.
Well, I was actually hopeful when they said that Iron Banner was coming out as a playlist special event. In a part of my mind that rationalized the other social playlists not having it, I thought, you know what, this is going to be different. They're going to put out a ranked playlist for competitive players, and it's going to have all these things. I thought it was going to have voice communication.
It's exactly what Null Zero just said. It's a social experience, and in order to have your social experience, you got to be able to talk to people or communicate. You know what I mean? And I'm sorry, but the point gesture and the thank you gesture or bow gesture or whatever
doesn't work.
And hello gesture isn't enough gestures in that game to tell you hey, don't capture B, okay? Because I don't have a down on my D-pad that tells you, shakes my head no and says no, don't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
you can't say, okay, guys, we're gonna hold A and B and push them into C. They're spawning on the left side. Those aren't gestures in the game.
Yeah, I mean, you have to allow me to talk to people if you really want me to have that social experience and be able to enjoy it.
Right.
I mean, all of us, we met through Dads of Destiny, and except for me and Null Zero, and then you and Hambone already knew each other prior, but I met Null Zero, I've said many times, through video games, through playing Xbox Live. I would have never done that if I didn't have a chat feature. And that goes with everybody that I've created relationships with over the years, and I'm sure you guys have done the same. People that have relationships that they've met online, they got to talk to each other. So I don't understand why they decided in this situation not to have a chat feature where we can talk and meet other people in this universe that we're walking through. So, that's a huge thing for me. The other thing is that, it's control only. I mean, they put out something that I play all the time, and then so we think, hey, because of my gear, it's going to be a lot different. Come to find out on Friday, that's not the case. It's not that much different. Only a few aspects are taken over to it, and then it's only control. Okay,
right.
And there's no 3v3 game type, all right, and it doesn't make any sense. Why don't they let us play at least a different game type, or why isn't Iron Banner its own game type?
Right.
Why isn't it a different type of game type?
The reality is that the competitive community needs some very fundamental things. They need custom games. They need a ranked playlist. They need voice communication, and they simply need to have objective game types like capture the flag, 3v3 games like Salvage. And,
you mean game types that they've put in other shooters? That wouldn't be a good idea, would it?
The competitive community right now is throwing up their hands, going, "What is wrong with what's happening here?"
Well, the reality is the competitive community is getting ready to move. I mean, the community is going to, if they don't do something soon, it will move. That's just the reality. I mean, there's no way around it. I don't think we can delay it. This DLC that's coming out soon in December, which I say soon, but it will already be here before we know it, I'm sure. It's got to be a lot. And as Null Zero's talked to me offline about it before, I mean, if it's not more than what people have discovered by going in and mining and seeing that video where it showed, a few different missions on a different Earth. If it's not more than that, and they, the Deej had come out and said there was placeholders there. If it's not more than that, then not only are people going to say Deej was lying and saying they were just placeholders, but people are going to be pretty angry about it. I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there still that are going through this game at a slow pace and enjoying it, and they're doing whatever. But I'll take my brother, for instance. My brother is not a hardcore gamer like I would say most of us are on this podcast, but I would say that he was a level 12, and he calls me and he says, hey, I'm not playing this game anymore. I'm turning it in. I'm going to go trade it in because I can't play multiplayer, number one, because every time I go play multiplayer, everybody has this Suros gun, and they kill me before I can even kill them, no matter what I have, because I'm only a level 12.
Right.
And number two, he says, dude, I didn't realize that they were going to demand all this time to be put in just to enjoy the game. Right. So we've heard, all of us, we kind of bypassed that area, believe it or not. I mean, we got to 20 quick, right? And
within the first 2 days. Yeah.
And then we were playing. But what we didn't do is some of these things that a lot of other dads in our community have done too. They don't have time to play as much as us, and they want to enjoy the game, but really they have no other choice but play PvE until they get later on in the game. Because I don't understand why Bungie doesn't have rank type matchmaking, similar to some other games that we've played in the past, but where 1 through 8 is match made together, and then 8 through 15 is, or 16 is match made together, and then 16 through 20 is match made together, and 20 to 30 is match made together.
Exactly.
I understand why they didn't do that, but I can tell you it's a problem because my brother's not the only person, and there's definitely people on the forums as well, and Dads of Destiny forums that have been complaining about the same issue. So there's just, man, there seems to be so many problems going on with the matchmaking and everything else, and then they come out with this Iron Banner and they give us the same junk we've already seen and had.
Right. I mean, that was one of the things I was wondering, like, where is Skirmish? That is possibly one of my favorite game modes to get in with 2 of my buddies, because like you were saying, there's some guys that don't have 6 friends to jump on with to play a control match. So
absolutely,
if you got 2 guys playing some skirmish with some good communication, you can have a blast. So I was looking for a little sample of the entire playlist, just Iron Banner style, or like you were saying, a completely different game type that was specific to Iron Banner, but we got none of it. It's a repeat performance in this game, because just like everything else, it's the same missions with a different name or a different modifier, but that's all we're getting.
That seems to be the repetitive code, right? I mean, that is the code of this game, is just rinse and repeat. And let me put a different skin on it and repeat.
Right,
exactly. Let me give you, the Queen's Bounties, which are missions you've already played.
Right.
And repeat.
And
Let me give you the Iron Banner, which is the Crucible and
Same
Control
maps.
and repeat. So
yeah.
I just, man, I don't. That is real frustrating.
So let me frame this in. Let me frame this for us, because I think it's important when I get into this frame of mind where I start to feel like I'm raging a little bit about this. I have to remind myself that Bungie hopefully has room to grow. They have room to make this thing better, and I don't think they have much time, though, to be honest with you.
Well, no, they don't.
Well, I think the problem is we were all Bungie fans. A lot of us were Bungie fans when we came into this, and we were hoping that the game was going to be as incredible in exactly what they told us it was going to be. And I think they overpromised and underdelivered. I think that's the best way to put it on this game. I know that Null Zero, he said that to me many times last week, that they said it was a game for everybody, but there really wasn't a thing to do every day for everybody.
Well, I think sometimes if they've leaned too far in the direction of everybody, like it seems to cater to literally everybody. I mean, and there's no area where a hardcore player could really be like, oh, this is my spot. That shows with Iron Banner. I mean, we got in there and there's like a level 12. I think me and Hambone were playing by ourselves when it first came out. I think there's a level 12 or 14 on the other end, and he was putting people down, and we're like, how is this working. Like,
with an uncommon gun, not even a rare.
It was like the first gun you get, and it's like, how does this work? We're in Iron Banner,
and I think Bungie talked about that in the update, and I think that's. But
they did, and that's why I'm like, how did they not realize?
Though Zero.
How did they realize? Right, but it wasn't like that in the beta. Data put out a really good video talking about how it wasn't like that in the beta. So we thought we were getting this raw, just here's multiplayer in the grittiest form. I think the way they solved this is they make like level cutoffs in certain areas. So like in certain in multiplayer, you split up 25 to 30s. You give 25 to 30s their own area. The 20s to 25s their own area.
Well, they already do that in the PvE version of the game. You don't get to do weeklies or dailies until you get to level 16, 18, and 20. So they do tear it off in the PvE section of the game, but we have yet to see that repeat itself in the PvP section or the multiplayer that we play a lot, so it becomes a bit frustrating.
The other thing I don't understand is Iron Banner was considerably more laggy than regular multiplayer. Like,
absolutely.
Me and Brian were playing the other day, and we realized, like, we were playing Iron Banner, and we're getting frustrated because it was like a very noticeable lag in between shooting someone and them dying. And we're like, this is just way too laggy. It's almost unplayable. And we were like, let's just go finish our bounties in regular, see if it's any different. And sure enough, we went to regular, and it felt really smooth. I mean, there's still a hint of lag there, but it was like
nothing
light.
To that, yeah.
Like,
yeah, I mean, some people have said it's because all that it's trying to process with all the different gear and all that kind of. I don't know,
but apparently it's not even processing that.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely what is concerning. I mean, the other part about this all is that you don't get any points if you lose an Iron Banner.
Right. Well, you don't get.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
You get Crucible points.
Right.
You do not get any Iron Banner points.
0 Iron Banner points.
So what's the point
Crucible
of playing Iron Banner if you're not with the team? Because, dude, I have found, and this is very frustrating for me. This week we went and played quite a bit of Iron Banner.
That's true.
And I played with Hambone a lot by myself.
You guys
me and
were
him
losing
playing,
a lot, right? Just because.
And we were losing. And what would happen is we would go in, we would be winning the game, okay, and people would quit for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Or maybe we're even down a couple hundred points.
There's a lot of quitting.
There's a lot of quitting if they don't think they're going to win. Because like, I'm not getting nothing for this, so I'm quitting.
And so then they quit, right? And it's just me and Brian in there, or me and Hambone in there, us two against a team of 6, and we just get hammered. And it's like, dude, what's the point? Let's just what we started doing is just let's quit the game and start another one.
Right.
We didn't even stay in there for it.
What perpetuates that is the fact that you can't speak to nobody. So it's not like you can build up, new friends or teammates.
Right.
Like, you can't talk to nobody. So,
or even let people know what you're doing.
And Zero,
I do it all the time whenever I play by myself. Is I'll sit there and I'll be like, when no one else is on, I'm literally playing PvP by myself. As I'll go over to B with my headset on, and I'm like, hey, I'm at B, guys, but it's not like you can hear me. So I guess I'll get B by myself.
Right.
Well, and here's the thing: if you had a group of guys that are getting their ass handed to them, right, and there's a person in there that rallies it, right? That's in competitive. Every team has got it. You go, okay, guys, we got to do something different here. We got to capture. Everybody focus on C. Then we'll move together as one to B. We can control this. I need 2 people to the left, 2 people to the right. Let's control the middle. You get it. You get teamwork going. That all requires voice communication. So if you don't have that general thought that there is a way out of the hole that you're in, you're gonna quit. You're going to quit. And I don't blame people for doing it, because majority of people need that sort of direction and communication to feel like there's hope. That's what competitive is about. Getting behind or being on top and staying there, right? And holding that line, holding that position. And if you don't allow people to do that, you've cut out a fundamental part of the game, the fundamental part of being in competitive playlists.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it's really discouraging when you play a game and you put your whole heart into it and then you don't get any points at the end. I mean, it's just like, even say the games that we did where we played all the way through and we had a team, and say we lost, It's just like, dude, what's the point of playing this? Like, I'll just wait till I get a whole team of 6, and then we'll go in there and I'll get all my bounties done, within a few games, and it's over. So I just think there's a lot of discouraging factors in the Iron Banner, much like the other event that they've given us so far, which was the Queen's Wrath. I mean, both events so far that they've given us, I mean, I would give like a 4 on, on a scale from 1 to 10. I mean, it's not even, they're not even, I wouldn't even say they're good events.
Right.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing that and this is a comment directed solely to Bungie. I am frustrated with the information about the events coming out after the fact. Right.
Right.
So the community reacts, wonders what the heck is going on. Then we get an explanation as to what the event is about.
Right.
So please communicate to the event, to the community what event is coming out and what the rules of this event are, so that there isn't frustration among the community as to what is going on.
Right, because then we could have known from the beginning. Right.
Right, and some of the comments from the weekly update are the next time the Iron Banner comes, it's not going to look the same. So please give us your feedback. Okay, why didn't we do this ahead of time?
Right.
Well, the thing here is everybody's been saying, like the game is short and there's all this lack of loot and everything else, and everybody's like, oh, this is Activision's MO, this is Activision doing this to Bungie. Well, dude, here, let me tell you something. It's because we all love Bungie, right, and we think they can do nothing wrong. But what I can say about this is this stuff they control 110%.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, they can tell us this stuff beforehand or after, but what they're doing is they're being reactionary because it's almost like your kid hiding something from you. You know what I mean? And you're like, look, I know that's not the story. Okay, I'm not a dummy. I've done this before, right? And it's like, it just broke, Dad. It just broke. No, it didn't just break. Okay, you picked it up, you threw something at it, you did, and it's the same way with Bungie. It's like they're like, oh, sorry, it's just broke.
Right.
Like that's just the way it was. I mean, but here's our BS, reasoning behind it. We wanted to make it fair for everyone. Man, you didn't. Why do you make the Iron Banner if you want to make it fair for everybody?
But the Iron Banner is not supposed to be fair.
No,
it's supposed to be the
playlists are
of
not
multiplayer.
supposed to be fair.
It's supposed to be the
hey,
absolute...
who told us what the Iron Banner was supposed to be?
Right,
They did. And now they're telling us that's not what it's supposed to be. And it's like, are you serious? Like you're not even doing what you told us. It's the same thing with the game in general. It's like we're gonna have all this stuff, and every day. I mean, they specifically. I remember reading an article to Null Zero, and it said we have a 24-hour team that works around the clock on new content for every day. And dude, what new content are you giving me every day? You need a team of 20 people around the clock, 24 hours, and a network team looking at this and updating it every week and every day.
Yeah. But I'm wondering for Iron Banner, is it that they don't have the ability to do all the level advantages, and that's why we're seeing this? Is that what it is? Like they just can't figure it out?
They don't separate PvE from PvP. I talked about this last week about nades lasting as long in PvP as PvE and other things like that. It's the same thing. One of the things I saw, like I said, mentioned Dato's video, he talked about how if you look in PvE and you're a level like say 14 and you ran up on like a level 20, those guys, or even a 30, those guys would have skulls or question marks for their level.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, that's at the base level. You can make minor adjustments so that that's not, like that level 14 couldn't even shoot at that guy. It'd be doing 1 damage.
Right.
But in a sense, they don't have to necessarily make it that drastic in Iron Banner, but maybe they do. Like a level 14, like in my mind, I was like, a level 14 has no place in here. There's no reason to be here.
But they don't have to worry about it as long as they segregate the levels, right? 1 through 10, 10 through 20, 20 through 30.
Well, they could segregate the levels, or they could make the differences between a level 1 and like each individual level a little less in Iron Banner. So it's like there's still a level advantage, but it's a little less than what it would be in a PvE.
Well, why not treat it like PvE and just make the content not available until you hit level 20? I mean, you know what I mean? That gives guys a reason to stick around because, as we've said, the game is repetitive. So some guys aren't even sticking around. They
have a lot of content that's behind locked doors. It's like,
well, here's what they need to stop doing. They need to stop making fundamental things for PvP events. Okay?
Yeah.
A competitive playlist is not a special event. It is an option within the game.
I'm going to get backlash for this, but maybe we all thought Bungie knew us, but maybe they don't.
That's something to think about.
Maybe we all thought Bungie was just in love and knew exactly what the community wanted and knew how to build exactly what we want, and maybe they don't. And I will give it to them that they are giving us updates, and they're telling us that they're working on stuff. And Deej continues to tell us, we're sitting around the round table and we're talking about different stuff, and I'm your voice, and I'm trying, and we're going to give you the game you want. But I know me and Hambone both said we're not going to stop playing the game. I mean, I know Null Zero. He goes through games faster than a pimp can go through women. So I won't be moving on. I won't be playing a different game. I don't have any plans to play a different game. I just want to see more things come to fruition.
I don't know about you guys, but when the game is in this state that it's in, I don't want to see in the weekly update trivial things. For instance, them talking about a guy who's captured more control points than anybody else in the game. We're not at that point yet to just be reminiscing and sharing funny things or interesting things. We need fixes, and we need them now. I don't want to hear that. And I don't want to see in your weekly update your response to something is someday. I don't want to hear that. Someday, I need a concrete time and date of when you're going to address these huge issues that we're facing in this game.
No, I agree with you. I don't think it is at a fun manner right now for most of the community. I think we're at the points like, hey, look, you told us this game was coming out. We all thought, and so now that I think we all thought it, we probably were not misled, right? We were led this direction, both PvP and the PvE side. We all thought that this was going to be a lot bigger than it was and a lot more options than it is. So all we care about, Deej, is tell us what's coming
and not say someday.
Tell us what to look at.
I mean, on here when somebody's asking him about the future for the audio options, he says, I hear chatter about voice options. I even hear rumors about match-made teammates being able to talk to each other someday.
Here we are. We pay for a product, and we're saying, hey, when are we going to get it? And what's going to happen? What are you doing to fix it? And they're like, someday.
Well, they took the note out of Blizzard's book. I mean, Bungie, I felt like with Halos were pretty open with their community. They're always had a back and forth conversation with their community.
You're right, they did. Yeah.
And, Blizzard's always been terrible about this when it comes to their games and trying to get just a little morsel of information on what's going on. They don't want to tell you nothing. And if they give you anything, they don't want to put a date to it, nothing. And Blizzard's
don't hold me accountable.
Well, Blizzard can do that. Blizzard has a much grander history than Bungie.
Well, their problem is that's their MO. That's always been their MO, so it's fine, right? It's like,
it's not only that,
when
but
is Warcraft 3
they have
coming? Yeah.
3 Diablos. They have World of Warcraft. They have like 3 Warcraft games, 2 Starcrafts. They've earned it. And Bungie has started to earn it, but now it's like they've jumped to this, and it's like, well, you're not being like forthcoming with information, and instead of having the conversation with that back and forth with us, we feel deceived instead of a part of a conversation with the developer of a game we really want to play and like.
Right.
Well, I know it sounds like we all hate the game. We don't, or
we
that
don't.
we're mad at Bungie. We're not. We just want what we feel like was told to us.
The potential's there.
And yeah, I mean, I believe the world they created is great, and what I really believe in the scheme of all this is they were so busy building the infrastructure of this game that by the time Destiny 2 comes out, it will be phenomenal.
I agree.
And that's just my personal opinion. I think, and based on Deej's dev notes from a week ago or whatever it was, and he even said, they were so focused on building the infrastructure. And that's where I think additional time would have helped them. But maybe it's like a project. I don't know if you guys have ever done this. In fact, probably good to use an analogy from the Vault of Glass. Sometimes you do something so much and you're working so hard towards it that you need to take a break.
Yeah.
Right, to go back and to finish it up and to finish it right.
Come back with fresh eyes,
I think that's exactly what they need to do here. I think, they're in the Vault of Glass. They need to take a break. They can't beat the final boss. And they need to stop. They need to collect what they're going to do, put some dates and some times together, and then come back and say, hey, guys, this is what we're doing. These are our shots. We're going to try our best to meet these deadlines. If we don't, we're sorry. We're going to continue to work on them, and we'll let you know when it will come out.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
At least give us some type of idea of, hey, look, this is what we're shooting to. This is what we're trying to get done, and this is the order and what we're trying to do. So, that I know we all love the game, guys. This podcast isn't going anywhere. We're not going to stop playing Destiny, but we just wanted to have a little rant time and really talk about
some real
our worries and fears.
Real talk.
Yeah, about the game. So
all day by myself.
All day.
On the brighter side of life,
$60 beta.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Well, in my case, it was $150.
Yeah, mine as well.
So yeah. Well, on the brighter side of life, Deej did come out this week, and he told us he did a community focus on Extra Life. And if you haven't read that, make sure you go and you take a look at that, guys. Extra Life is a huge thing that's going on in the community for the month of October. On the 26th, I believe it is, there's going to be a full 24-hour video game marathon to raise money for kids with rare illnesses. This year, the Destiny community has set a goal of $7,000. So we've teamed up with More Console, with the guys over at Guardian Radio, Dado, Bungie's even donated some prizes to give away during this stream hour. So the whole Destiny community gang has teamed up, and we're trying to raise $7,000 to give to the Seattle Children's Hospital, which is part of the Children's Miracle Network. And we'll give you some more information on that next week, definitely about how you can catch the stream, about when we'll be on the streaming, and about some of the prizes that we'll be giving away. But guys, if you have $1, if you have 50 cents, this is an awesome thing to be a part of. Just to say you're being a part of it with the Destiny community. We had a guy last week, I believe, that gave $1,000.
Wow.
Believe it or
awesome.
not, and so. It's just been really, really cool. It's been an awesome thing to see, start to grow, and this all got started to give you a little bit of back history, back from a guy that did Sarcastic Gamer, and his, I believe it was his niece, had a rare illness, and to help pay for the bill, Sarcastic Gamers community got around him and raised money to help pay for the bill for his niece's rare illness. And man, it's just been an amazing thing that we've done every year since, as a gaming community as a whole, and the Destiny community particularly is really trying to make a difference this year. So if you have 50 cents or whatever, shoot over to the website. There'll be a link on there, and you can go over to the Extra Life campaign for the Destiny community and donate there, guys. So Deej obviously wanted to let everybody know that was going on. And so, guys, we've had a lot to talk about as far as our opinions this week. So we're actually not going to have another argumentative section called Don't Talk Back. We're kind of going to skip over that this week and jump right into Stories from the Tower.
And now it's time for Stories from the Tower. Stories that come from you, to us, and back to you. Be prepared to laugh a time, or 3, or 2.
All right, so Hambone's going to read us some stories from the tower today, guys. And I just want to tell everybody, if your children are with you, just hit the fast forward button so it jumps 12 seconds ahead or 15 seconds ahead, because he's going to read a story real quick that is absolutely hilarious, but may not be appropriate for all ears. So, Hambone, go ahead.
All right. Without further ado, our first post comes from _Pope, not to be confused with our own Pope beer here from the podcast. But this topic is titled, Dads with Sons, Did It Ever Weird You Out? And it reads as follows. So I was sitting there thinking about my son growing in utero, and I got weirded out. Normally, if there was another penis inside my wife, I would be livid. But I can't be mad because it's my son. It's awkward to think that it is acceptable. Am I just overthinking this, or am I not the only one?
Oh, man, you're overthinking it, bro. You're definitely overthinking this.
I'm going to call overthinking on this one for sure.
Definitely overthinking.
What were some of the replies to that on the forums?
Okay, let's just go through some of these. The first one here is from Kai Sayunis, and he says, I never thought about it that way. I have a 2-year-old and a 4-month-old, both boys, and I think you may be overthinking this a bit. So, yeah, that's one of the comments. Another one, a little inappropriate, but still pretty funny, is from a guy called Leapfrog. And he says, think of it as your penis inside her constantly for 9 months. Because he does get his package from you. He should thank you, LOL.
Oh,
So, I mean, yeah, like I said,
wow,
this one is a little out there, but when I was searching on the forums, I just could not pass this one up.
Dude, that's funny. That is funny.
So yeah, let's move on, and I'll read another one here. So the next one that I have is from MacTire. I don't know how you say that. A&R. So this one is titled, "What are the funniest or strangest gamer tags you have seen?" And the post reads as follows: "Can you tell I'm bored? I came across these the other day. Peanut jelly butter." So another one here that he has is pancakes. He's got double D batteries. That jerk. You can already hear that one in PvP. I'm going to kill that jerk. And he says his nephew wants to be Wesley Quick Snipes. So I thought that was pretty cool. And we got some pretty outrageous responses as well on this one, too. So the first one is from Bringing to Pain. And he says, "In your rectum" was a good one I've seen. Another one is right here from our own Dads of Destinies, the Dads of Destiny Grizzly Clan. There's a guy over there called Pink Chicken Skin. So he made the list as one of the craziest ones they've seen. This guy here called Midnight Rider SS says he's seen a guy on Battlefield 4 named General Warts. So that's pretty funny as well.
Oh, those are good, man. Those are good.
All right, and then let's see. The next one here is a post by a guy named MDDG424, and it's titled, "I sometimes wonder how we made it." So his post reads as follows: "So guys, as some of you may have known from my last post about Avery, which is his oldest child, breaking her wrist. Well, she had to go to the Children's Hospital in Orlando to get a cast put on today. And my wife proceeds to tell me it's not her day, because as soon as they go up to the register, Avery proceeds to trip and smack her face on the wall and leave teeth marks in that wall. So I say to everyone, how has it come to this? How the heck did we make it to adulthood? Because I know as kids, we were clumsy, and even still as adults, we are still pretty clumsy." So,
man, I don't know. I mean, there's been many times I look back and I'm like, dude, how did I even make it? Man, I mean, just some of the dumbest things. I think everybody, especially men, can look back and go, dude,
oh yeah,
I should have died. Yeah. I don't know how I lived through that, but
yeah, oh yeah. Some funny responses on this one too. I'll just read a couple here. The first one's from Payne Reward, and he's sharing his story, and he says, "My son was almost 2 and had a Tonka dump truck. The one with a metal bed, not the one with the cheap plastic one. He loved pushing that thing around the house as fast as he could go. I always told him to stay on the carpet, but it never failed. He would always run through the kitchen on the tile with that truck. Well, the inevitable happened, and he slipped. Took that metal bed right to the face, punctured a hole through his top lip about a 1/4 inch wide. No stitches, but got glued, and he never went into the kitchen with that truck again." So... yeah, I mean, it just seems like, guys, we have all survived some pretty crazy things. So the last one I got here today is an oldie but a goodie. It's coming from An Assault on You, and it's titled, "Baby, I'm sorry I hacked your account." And keep in mind, this is pre-release. It says, "Well, it's finally here. After months of hearing about nothing but Destiny, this and Destiny that, the game that all of our hubbies have been raving about is here. Thank God. I can't help but feeling this is what they must have felt like when we were planning our weddings." So I'm looking forward to a few hours of peace while the man is so deeply enveloped in this game. Ironically, I have a photo shoot tomorrow as a vintage burlesque dancer. Sad part is, I know he won't even look up when I get home and drop my coat and walk around in my underwear. Anyway, I just want to say, have fun, guys, and baby, I'm sorry for bombing your account. Love you, DODs.
Well, I'll tell you this, probably the first day or two he wouldn't, but right now he's turning around every time,
absolutely.
Bro. All right, I gotta tell you that right now. If he's into this game as much as us, he's like, man, I can come play another Crucible or Iron Banner game later. Don't worry about that. Go over here and drop that code again. So,
some funny responses here. Junkyard Wolf says, "Now that's mean. decisions, controller or joystick. So yeah, that's pretty funny. And an Assault on You actually got back on and says, woman, sorry guys, I got hacked. She will pay absolutely no attention tomorrow. So he's apparently going to try to starve her out with, even though she's dropping her coat coming home from a burlesque
Like I said,
shoot.
if he was starving her out before, he ain't now.
Oh, absolutely not.
He ain't.
I'd be interested to see what the state of affairs is here in October versus what it was on September 8th. So,
guys, we thank you so much for giving us those stories. Continue to shoot those over to the forums or email them to us. You can also just tweet them out and do hashtag stories from the tower, and we'll pick those up as well. I know Hambone's always looking for those. So if it's something funny, it's something you want us to get on air, definitely make sure you get it to us, and we will. Let's go ahead and jump over now to our last section here, which is tips and tricks.
Oh, you didn't know? Better call somebody.
So my tip and trick for the week is always buy a telemetry if you have the strange coins every week, because last week I bought a sniper telemetry, and then this week the icebreaker sniper is the sniper there, so I can level it up faster. So if you have an extra coin or two, make sure you buy the telemetries every week, one or two of them, just so that when you get that legendary or you get that exotic weapon, you can level it up quicker. What about you, Hambone? What's your tip and trick for this week?
My tip and trick for this week is about that elusive bounty of getting 20 fusion rifle kills of 2 guys at the same time. And I know a lot of guys seem to have some trouble figuring out where on earth they could do this. So my tip and trick is to go to the Dark Beyond story mission, which is one of the first ones on the moon. You're going to want to set the level to at least level 9, because if you leave it on the standard level of 6, the thrall will not come at you, and the guys that are the acolytes and the knights will not be yellow. They will be red. So it'll be a lot easier and they won't come at you. But if you turn that mission on and you at least set it to level 9, you can get that 20 fusion rifle double kills in less than 10 minutes, because the thrall will run in a straight line up towards you and the fusion rifle will blast right through them. So there you go.
Awesome. What about you, No Zero? You got a tip and trick for us for this week?
Yeah, so for everybody that wants to level up their weapons or armor faster, whether it's raid gear, whatever you've gotten, and you're like, man, I just want to level up this a little faster. The thing I learned this week is that if you take like let's say a primary exotic, I got the Hawk Moon this week, and I obviously wanted to level up faster. If I put that in my primary slot, and then I put weapons that I've already maxed out XP wise, and all my other slots, all my weapons, all my armors, then basically what I mean is you don't want to, it can be maxed out with experience. You don't have to actually have bought all the upgrades. It's just maxed out, can't earn any more experience. So what you do is whenever you turn in your bounties, you want to have your Nightfall done if you can. It's not mandatory. If you have a telemetry, put those on as well. But whenever you turn in like a full group of 5 bounties, if you have just the one item that's gaining XP, it gains 100% of the XP instead of splitting it between items. And it also gets the bonuses from Nightfall and telemetry.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
awesome.
So basically, as long as everything else is leveled up, maybe not bought or the upgrades purchased, but as long as everything is leveled up, then the one item that you're trying to level will gain all the experience.
100%.
So, well, that's awesome. And if you guys have another tip or trick out there, I know Null Zero, he tested that one out and been testing it for the past week or so by himself to see if it was working out, and it seems to be working out, and I know I'm doing it now. But if you guys have a tip or trick for us or something that you've discovered that you would like to share, definitely send it over to us at feedback.dod@gmail.com. And Null Zero, did we get any messages this week from the mail?
Yeah, we got one from one of our admin team. It's Neo from the admin team. And he wanted to tell us, it's a long email, and I try to steer clear from reading the long emails. I just kind of summarized them. He wanted to tell us how much he was enjoying the podcast. He appreciates the hard work that we put into it, and
Nice.
that he really is excited that we've done this for the DoD community. He had a suggestion. His only suggestion was that we try to cater to casual gamers a little bit more than we currently do. I've already responded to him, and I kind of told him that, that was something we were talking about.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we definitely want to take you guys' advice, and we really appreciate it. We try to do our best to let everybody have a little bit of information for maybe where they're at in the game and what they're doing. And so definitely continue to send that over to us. We're going to do our best to make sure that whether you're a hardcore player or whether you're the average Joe, casual player, that you guys definitely get something out of the podcast and some of the things that we're saying relate to you. So, well, we really appreciate you guys. As always, thanks for listening. We hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure you rate us on iTunes. Make sure you visit dadsofdestiny.net, our Twitch account, our YouTube page. A lot more stuff will be coming to YouTube here shortly. We're getting some things together for that. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at TooLoudTX. You can follow Noel Zero at Noel Zero. That's NOLXERO. Pope Bear, I believe it's Pope_Bear. He had to step away here from us. And then Mr. Hambone, how they reach you? At The Real Hambone, is that correct?
Yeah, it's The Real Hambone 1 on Twitter. So yeah, it's spelled just like it sounds. DA Real Hambone 1.
Well, we appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much for listening. So make sure you guys check out GuardianRadioNetwork.com for tons of other great podcasts and videos. Thanks for listening, and until next time, see you later, alligator.
After a while, crocodile.
Time to go, my sweet buffalo. You gonna learn today.
You gonna learn something today.
All right.